What does it take to turn prospective customers into raving fans? For over 100 years, image advertising has helped portray packaged goods manufacturers and banks and insurance companies and chain restaurants and automobile manufacturers as big and powerful and stable. But what if you're not that big? In the next few minutes, we're going to explain why traditional advertising doesn't work so well for smaller service companies. And then we're going to provide some great examples of a newer technique that is more appropriate for home services contractors. Have you ever noticed the big national advertisers are nearly always manufacturers? But as a contractor, you're not so much selling stuff as you're selling service. Honestly, how many homeowners have called you and say, do you offer Trane or Bryant or York or Lennox? I think we can probably agree that for the most part, people buy your service and they accept your professional recommendation for equipment. Enter the USP. In 1960, Rosser Reeves, who was then the chairman of Ted Bates Advertising, wrote a book called Reality in Advertising. He said, by the way, that's still a great read. Reeves said, every product needed a unique selling proposition. It must make a proposition, buy this product, get this benefit. It must be a benefit so strong it can sell masses of people on the product, and it must be unique in that no competitors can or will make the same promise. The USP, the unique selling proposition, is a brilliant idea. It's been taught at business schools for half a century, and for manufacturers it still makes sense, but we've already indicated you sell services, and those services, are they unique? Hardly. Do a quick Google search for HVAC plus your city. See all of the other contractors selling their services to the same potential audience. What do you offer that they don't? Do your competitors recharge compressors? Oh, they do. Well, do they clean ductwork? Do they replace capacitors? Sell air purifiers? So there's nothing that you offer that your competitors don't offer except yourself. See, that's what makes your company unique. It's not the things you do for your customers, but rather the person that you are. Because when you get right down to it, what you're selling is your company's image as problem solvers, your company's image as honest people, as folks other people like. And that, by the way, is the basis of our leveraged personality marketing system. So the key to successful marketing of service businesses is showing your competence while simultaneously being likable. We call ads with this objective bonding ads. And with that in mind, we have a few to share with you. Let's start with this one, written and produced by my partner Roy Williams for Morris Jenkins Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes, Bobby.
We work with an excellent bunch of people.
Yes, we do.
So what's your secret? How do you know who to hire?
Always hire happy people.
Happy people make happy customers.
And hire people who do things the right way instead of the easy way.
You are a genius, Mr. Jenkins.
No, Bobby. Someone taught me those things many years ago.
Was it your mom? I bet it was your mama.
They're likable, don't you agree? They worked into that conversation that their people are happy, which helps customers be happy, and that Morris Jenkins people do things the right way. But they did it in such a way that you come away really liking both Mr. Jenkins and Bobby. It's a great example of a bonding ad. Here's another way of doing the same thing. It uses a testimonial format and works key copy points in while projecting, these are really nice people. I like them.
Hi, I'm Paul Sherman. Nobody should have to wait more than a day for delivery. That's why we offer next day delivery 7 days a week.
You can have a solution delivered to your home by friendly, courteous people.
And they don't just say that, they come through with it.
Yeah, it's great.
They call and give you a great 2-hour window.
But it got in quicker than they'd even promised.
And I was doing laundry when they left.
It was awesome.
To me, that's just a marvelous experience.
As long as they continue doing what they're doing, I'm going to be their customer for life.
Did you notice that they didn't tell you anything about the furniture? This is a great strategy for any industry that's hard to differentiate. Sell the service indirectly by selling the people and don't mention the product. Be careful though. The minute you start proclaiming we've got the best service, you start losing credibility. Here is a double testimonial. First, Valerie, JR's wife, talks about his modesty. Then Trixie, JR's customer, talks about his skills.
This is Valerie Richardson, and my husband John owns and operates JR's Automotive. I think he's a great mechanic, but he's also a very private person, and I can't get him to brag a little. So here's what some of John's customers are saying about him.
Oh, I love JR now. I had my engine light coming on and no one could figure out what it was, and if I didn't have it fixed, I was going to blow my engine. He fixed it for me. He's an honest mechanic and he's a thorough mechanic. I work at a gas station and, people come in distress and I'll be like, well, call JR. Here's a number, 356-6899. Call him. He'll have your car taken. He'll give you a reasonable price and an honest price.
Come meet John and decide for yourself. JR's Automotive, 4884 E Sunset Boulevard in Lexington.
I'm JR, and I approve this message.
You've probably heard that great ads reach people emotionally. Folgers does this very well every Christmas when the adult child returns home and wakes the family with the aroma of a fresh pot of Folgers brewing. Hallmark Cards and AT&T have tapped into that same nostalgia for years. But here is a car ad that every parent of a 16-year-old can identify with.
So, your seat good? Get the mirrors all adjusted so you can see everything okay? Just stay off the freeways, all right? I don't want you going out on those yet. Just leave your phone in your purse. I don't want you texting, okay?
Daddy, okay.
Okay. There you go. Be careful.
Thanks, Dad.
Call me, but not while you're driving. We knew this day was coming. That's why we bought a Subaru.
Have you been there? Do you like these people? Does that good feeling spill over into the product and make you a little more inclined to like Subaru as well? You notice they said nothing about the car other than, we knew this day was coming, that's why we bought a Subaru. Not a single statistic from a safety testing lab or a customer satisfaction survey. Just likable people in identifiable situations. This is bonding at work. Chris Hodges Jr. is another likable guy, and he's the proxy spokesperson for his dad's HVAC franchise in Richmond, Virginia. Chris tells stories to make his staff, and therefore his company, relatable.
Howard came back to the shop with a huge grin and a plate of oatmeal raisin cookies. Howard is one of the trust-certified technicians at 1 Hour Heating and Air. Seems when he found the problem with Betty's air conditioner in less than 15 minutes. She was so impressed, she insisted on sending cookies home with him. Hi, Chris Jr. from 1 Hour. Customers don't always treat our techs like neighbors, but you'd be surprised how often something like this happens. Dad says, always hire the best people, then stay out of their way. 1 Hour trust-certified technicians are the best. They're polite, don't leave a mess, never curse or smoke in your home, and they always show up on time. 1 Hour Heating and Air technicians pass background test and drug test, and only 3 out of every 100 applicants gets chosen for 1 Hour. Keep cool with 1 Hour Heating and Air. The cookies are optional. Call 888-333-8888. And remember that we're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 888-333-8888 or at onehourrichmond.com.
Spokespersons like Chris Jr. or Mr. Jenkins and Bobby work better the more we learn about them and the product or the service they sell. Let me introduce you to Gladys and Joe Grimaud, husband and wife. This series ran for years. Gladys is obviously very proud of Joe, and Joe just wants to get to why they're doing the ad in the first place.
Because my Joe put in for Air Force retirement, he could no longer fly, but was put in charge of the Louisiana bombing ranges. As a seasoned combat fighter pilot, he knew what a battlefield should look like from the air. He chose a Russian airfield from intelligence and graded out the entire airfield on the ground at the range.
Gladys, tell them about Chapin Furniture's no-tax sale.
He put telephone poles in military trucks to simulate missile launchers and line vehicles up in convoys. He was like a little boy playing Army, but this was real.
Gladys, South Carolina's annual tax-free weekend is coming up in August, and Chapin Furniture is participating.
Oh, Joe, it's the American thing to do.
Through August 2nd, we'll pay your sales tax on furniture and more. That's right. All regularly priced purchases at Chapin Furniture through August 2nd will pay your sales tax.
Tax-free on furniture and more.
Chapin Furniture, 15 minutes from Columbia in the heart of Chapin, or chapinfurniture.com.
Do you like Gladys and Joe? Most people do. This is bonding done very well. The longer you run ads that make your people likable, the better those ads work. So let's conclude with this. Small service companies should not copy national advertisers when it comes to advertising. Rosser Reeves was right when he said what you sell must be unique, but remember, the thing that makes your company unique is you. On another occasion, we'll dig into why bonding ads make your pay-per-click cost less. And if you'd like to know more about selecting a proxy spokesperson for your company, drop me a note, and if there's enough interest, I'll do a video on that as well. If any of these points need additional clarity, or if you just want to talk about possibilities, call or click. This is HVAC Mastermind. I'm Chuck McKay.